So the ticket says $434. It's not the best seat in the house. It's just a seat. And that sounds painful until you hear the rest of the math. Now, people used to say, you know what, get out, live a little, treat yourself. That was the promise, that you would give yourself a night at the concert, a weekend at the lake, a movie with the family, maybe bowling on a Friday. And those things were supposed to be the reward for grinding through the week. It was responsible fun, an affordable reset. The stuff you did without even thinking twice because the week was long and you needed one normal night that did not punish you for just leaving the house. Then the bill, it showed up dressed differently. So get this, guys, concert tickets right now, they jumped 42% since 2019. The average now sits around $134. But most people laugh at that number because they haven't seen one that cheap in years. Vacation rentals on the coast, they're up 38% to $413 a night. And the payment, it looks friendly enough on the sales page, but the contract, it doesn't look friendly at all. It looks like fun put on a fake mustache and came back as a fee. I mean, it's the same activity, but with a totally different price tag. And you swipe the card thinking you're buying memories, but what you're really buying is a slower crawlback to being broke. And it's not just one thing right now. Over the last 20 years, we've lost over 2,000 golf courses, 7,000 bars and nightclubs, and 1.3 million fewer Americans own boats. Movie theaters, they're down a fifth, and bowling alleys down nearly a third. Now, these weren't luxury items for most people years ago. These were just normal things, except for maybe the boat. But now you think twice. And now a lot of people are staying home, and the lower price, they all started disappearing. But the higher price, that's stretching the pain for everybody right now instead. Now, a lot of people remember a day when you could take your family out to a matinee movie for maybe 10 or 15 bucks a ticket. Bowling leagues or bowling nights, you could get two people for maybe 30 bucks. Now, the same night out feels like you're financing a small appliance. It's the escrow letter of entertainment. Now, you thought those numbers were all fixed, but then the real number shows up after you've already committed. And this is where it gets even more uncomfortable because a lot of people still going hard on this stuff are not the majority right now. Country clubs with $51,000 initiation fees or front row concert tickets still selling, premium vacation rentals still booked solid. That is not everyone living a good life. That's just the top slice keeping the lights on. And the rest of us are looking around and thinking everybody else is out there having a great time. But the math right now, it's saying otherwise. And this is where the bill becomes bigger than just a bill. Because when normal fun gets too expensive, people don't just spend less, they see each other less. 80% of Americans right now, they see their friends or family fewer than 3 times a week. The happiness ranking dropped from 13 to 23rd. And the phone is on our hands 24/7. So we have the ability to reach anybody. We can text anybody. We can send a thumbs up emoji to someone we haven't actually seen since the last administration. Technology, it made contact easier. But the real life part, that got significantly more expensive. The convenience became another bill in itself. And the connection became just another screen. It's like a subscription starting to act like a roommate that never pays rent. I mean, you keep paying, it keeps taking space, and somehow you still end up with less. So what are people doing right now? Well, a lot of people are just canceling, delaying, staying put. Maybe they're hunting for free walks or hikes, parks, maybe library movie nights, anything that lets them feel human without handing over a credit card like a hostage note. Some people are joining boat clubs instead of buying boats, which is actually pretty smart, right? I mean, $400 or $500 a month to get on the water without the headache of ownership or owning a boat. And that part, it makes sense. That's people adapting because the old deal stopped clearing the math. But even the free stuff is getting squeezed right now. I mean, park space per person is down in 65 of the top 100 places. National parks and beaches are booked 6 to 9 months out. So even the free alternative, it starts needing planning, a little luck, and a calendar reminder like you're trying to get Taylor Swift tickets to see a treat. Then add in all the hidden stuff at the actual event, parking fees, service charges, food and drinks that cost more than the ticket itself. and merchandise that you feel pressure to have to buy because you're finally out for a moment. And suddenly that $434 ticket, it's closer to $600 or $700 once the night's all said and done. And then the credit card statement arrives 2 weeks later. And that fun memory now sits on your balance at 22% interest. The lower payment option on financing screen, it looked friendly, but it just stretches the pain. And we all tell ourselves it's only this month. Next month, though, it's still there. And the month after that, it brings friends. And the affordable part of the deal broke. So who gets paid while regular people fall behind? Well, ticketing platforms and premium sellers, big venues, they get paid, vacation rental platforms, country club, boat clubs, anyone who can price the experience around the top 20% and let everyone else pretend they're still invited. That's the K-shaped economy. It throws a great party, but most people, they end up watching from the parking lot. People aren't just sitting there taking it either, though. They are adapting. More team sports are coming back. More people are choosing outdoor stuff. More people are realizing the phone did not replace a life. It just made loneliness come with notifications. And some are even going back to movie theaters in 2026. Maybe the video store vibe come back one day. I don't know. You guys remember those Blockbuster days? Browsing the new releases and taking home the disc and watching the special features? But streaming calls something from 3 years ago new now, and it feels like kind of a joke. But the fun itself, it didn't vanish. It just came back with that fake mustache and a service fee and a payment plan. Because you can't judge affordability by the first payment. You have to judge it by whether you're still paying for it long after the fun's gone. Because if you need that escape because the rest of life feels heavy, that is exactly when these costs can hurt the most. The payment, it didn't get cheaper. The pain, it just got stretched out over months. So before you sign up, book it or swipe that normal fun, run the real numbers. Look at the total cost. Look at what you actually get. Look at what free or low cost options exist right now. And that is the part I would check before calling anything affordable right now. Because it's not just about the ticket. It's not just about the rental, not just the first number that got you excited. It's not about all that. It's about the second number, where the parking fee comes in, or the food, or the interest payment on the credit card. That's the part that follows you home after the fun's over. Because the experience, it might last 3 hours, but the payment, that can hang around forever. And that is the simple part of all this. If the fun only works when you stretch the budget or finance the memory, it was never the affordable reset that you actually thought it was.